There we go. Okay, so today in chapter four, as I said a moment ago before we started, we're going to emphasize a little bit more on algorithm writing, and then you're going to be practicing your syntax. Logic wise, you understand all that goes on with if then else statements. So today I'm going to start with saying, remember the program dealing with, here we go, here we go, dealing with calculating overtime. Okay, calculating overtime. So if I said to you, I want you to write a program that will calculate overtime. Again, this is chapter four, and I want you to calculate overtime. All right, so we're going to start out, and again, this is leading into what we're going to do in a little bit. We're going to, I'm going to write the pseudo for this. Someone wrote input something, calculate an output. That's no help. That is, if I said, okay, Carlos, I want you to write a program without you, be going, that's no help to me. But if you were actually looking up all of the formulas like you did for temperature, like you did for midpoint, and then you had to work with the syntax of how to format it, having all of the thinking done ahead of time is good. So, how do we, let's run through the couple of things I'm going to need. Input, and we're going to go with hours. We're not starting it with a capital H. We're going to still work that camel code. Right now, yesterday in CPS 162, I had them break up in groups and do parts of a program, put it back together. Problem was, some of them would be saying HRS, some of them would be saying what you see here, some of them would have a capital H. So, one of the things that needed communicated was, how do we create our names, our identifiers? And the camel case standard is a good place to start. So, starting this out with the lowercase is good. What else do I need? I need to know the number of hours you worked, and that's it. Hey, Esther, how many hours
Uh,
you worked last week? Yeah, 20. Okay, I'm going to pay you. Now, what else do I need?
um, Pay rate.
Pay rate? You notice we're not calling these X and Y. Algebra has put us into X and Y forever now, but we can actually use something longer than X and Y. We're not there yet, but if I was making some notes, I could always check for input validation. Yeah. Could hours be less than zero? No.
No.
Could hours be greater than, yeah, I don't know, about 100? Another thing I might, be thinking and make a note of while I'm creating this is make both doubles. Doing all my thinking now. Okay. So I know overtime is going to be an issue. So I'm going to calculate overtime and pay. So I'm going to need some, I talked about my input, talking about my calculations, talking about my output. So this is like one section. My calculations. Um, what do we got here? Two different situations. It's going to tie right into our if statement. If parentheses, hours, HOURS, is greater than 40. That includes 40.5. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something. Let's see what we have. If hours is greater than 40, pay equals, pay equals. And again, we're not doing these input validations yet because next chapter is loops. Technically, you don't know loops yet. So we're keeping it kind of simple. But we're thinking as we're writing this down. I got this one. Else pay equals hours times pay rate. Well, if it's greater than 40, what am I getting for the first 40 hours?
You're getting hours times pay rate
How about 40 times pay rate?
or 40 times pay rate.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not ready for that plus part. So again, I'm doing all kinds of thinking that if I handed this to you and said program it, you'd be like, yeah, buddy, I can do that. Well, what's the rest of this? Well, I want to know how many hours greater than 40, right, Esther? Go ahead. This is your
Yeah. Oh, hours minus 40,
okay.
and then you can times the whatever's left by I think it's pay rate times 1.5.
Perfect. I'm running out of room. Yeah, last semester at this time you were going trying to figure out how to do this and all of this and everything, and now all of a sudden it's like shaboozy. I got this. Here's all of my calculations. My output, some sort of, I can use the word output, I can use the word display. There would be a whole lot going on in here, but I'd like to display the hours. I'd like to display the pay rate, and I'd like to display pay. And if I gave this to you and you wrote the program, you'd go, not yet, not yet. Test data. I don't want to have to do any thinking when the program runs around. I'm doing all of my thinking now. Give me some test data. Hours, pay rate. Is that what we call it? Pay rate. And then finally, give me good test data. What do you have? Nobody?
You could do 41 hours,
Yep,
uh, pay rate $10,
good. Give me more
and
test
then
data. Give me some more test data.
You could do 38 hours,
Good. Pay
38
rate.
hours, and then 12.
How about we keep it at 10? That's nice and easy so I can do it by hand. I could do it by 12. That's true. That's not bad. Calculator, you're not walking around with a calculator in your pocket all day like they used to say, but now we can say, um, hey Siri, what is 38 times 12? Or hey Google. We got all that going on. How about 40 hours times 10? How about 40.5 times 10? How about 50 and 20? So before I move on in the program, this may actually have been something I wanted to do first to help me with this calculation. It's familiar to us this time, so I'm not really worried about it. So if I come down here, there we go. Hey Siri, what's 38 times 12? 456. When I run my program later, I know I better get that answer. I better get 400. When you're in groups doing a program, somebody could say, hey, I'll take care of doing the test data and get that up and running. What else we got?
415 for the first one.
415. Can I get a hell yeah from a redneck girl to confirm that?
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Brandon. This is going to be 400 plus a half of an hour at $15 an hour, so another 750. This better be 407.50. This is going to be 40 hours times 20, which is 800, plus 10 hours at time and a half, which is 30, which is another 300, $1,100. I need to make sure everybody can confirm that. If I wasn't writing the program first, I would notice in the first, fourth, and fifth case, I did 40 times 10, which is plus that, and then 1 times 15. That's the first 40 hours plus that extra calculation. The first 40, that's going to lead me up into that first part of the if statement. Okay, what you think about that? So far, so good? Kind of easy, not bad.
Yeah.
Retraining your brain a little bit how to think before you start programming. Because when you get to 162, you got to do a lot of thinking. All right, what we're going to do now is in the textbook on page 222, and I do need to mention that a couple of you are using the e-text, and I think this is the only chapter where the code listings are off a little bit at the end. Like you don't get to 233, 2.33, and it's all my mistake. So they were a little bit off, and one or two of you commented, and I'm like, yeah. Program number two, Roman numeral converter, blah 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 blah. Input validation. We can do a simple one, but the program's gonna crash. It's not gonna loop around and keep going. But I want that in there. It's part of it. Number five is body mass index. Number seven, this thing called time calculator, and number eight is color mixture. 2, 5, 7, and 8. So, first thing I'm going to do is put you in 4 breakout rooms. Room 1, you're going to write the pseudocode for number 2. Room 2, we'll do 5. Room 3, 7, and room 4, 8. So, once you see what room you're in, we can go from there. But 1 is 2, 2 is 5, 3 is 7, and 4 is 8. I'm going to turn you loose for about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to bring everybody back and we're going to look at maybe not even 10 minutes, maybe 5. We're going to look at the pseudocode for these programs. So, someone in your group, you might want to type it up on the whiteboard within Zoom. There is a whiteboard. And then, or type it up somehow so that you can share it when we get back. I don't know if the whiteboard will carry over when we come back. I forget. But we're going to look at the pseudocodes. I'm going to let everybody take pictures. I'm going to put you back in the group, and the rest of the time, you're going to write these 4 programs. But they should all go quick once you have the pseudocode done. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. Breakout rooms. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. If you're in 1, it's 2, 2, it's 5. 2, 5, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 5, 7, and 8. Okay? See you in about 5 minutes. 2, 5, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 5, 7, and 8. Pause. Group 1, what do you have for me? Roman numeral converter. Somebody want
So,
to? Go
like
ahead.
when we come to read like the pseudocode, Olivia wrote it, so I think she should share her screen.
Show us, Olivia.
All right, let me find the whiteboard.
Here she comes. It's Olivia and her son.
So I don't know where the whiteboard went.
Sweet. So it didn't carry over
No, I had it and then I clicked on my existing and it is gone. So
like a freight train. Group 2, do you have pseudocode?
Yes.
Can you show me? Hopefully, it wasn't something on input, da 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 da. Can everybody see what was just placed in there?
Yep.
Dropped it in chat.
Okay. If it's that, output underweight and overweight and on and on and on. So if I needed to write that program, it's nice that that BMI and all of those ifs are already done. Agreed? Yeah. Cool. So I can always come back to the chat and get that, or I can cut and paste it real quick and put it in a Word document for when I go back to actually do these 4 programs. Number 2, you'll do last. Group 3. You have something you can throw in there.
We have the input in seconds.
Okay. Is it something you can show, display it somehow?
I think we typed it up on a whiteboard.
And then whiteboard disappeared.
Um,
Yes, you can talk to me after class. Not you, Carlos, somebody else. Group 4, do you have anything? Carlos,
Yes.
go
Yeah, we
ahead.
do. Brandon had, so sorry, Brian had it typed out.
Okay, Brian, you have it typed up?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay,
Can you see it?
I can see it. Nice, you did it in just some text editor. Okay. Everybody, do you need to take a quick picture of that? So when we go to put that in C++ in your group, somebody can be looking at the picture while somebody else is telling somebody what to type and still keeping the code listings, the textbook available for syntax. All right, group 3, did you get anything on your time calculator? Or is it just hidden on your whiteboard?
I think it's just on our whiteboard.
Okay. All right. Well, you have at least 2 programs to do. You understand this whole idea of writing good pseudocode. So I want you to do the 2 we saw first, the body mass index and the color one or something. And then try to do 2 and 7. If you can get all 4 done, that's fantastic. As you get them done, upload them to the discussion board. Okay? I'm going to reopen the rooms.
So
And
I just have a question.
yes.
So we have to write just 2 programs from the 4.
Well, I'd like you to write all 4, but the first 2 that should be easy are the ones that you already have the pseudocode for.
Okay.
Yeah. Get those
Thank
done.
you.
If you have time, keep working on them. The more you
Okay.
practice this repetitive syntax, the better you'll get at it.
Okay, thank you.
Corinne, are you coming now? Oh, she's gone.